So we are going to cover the IPD process completely in today's session. And IPD as such has two different submodules. One is called ADT module. ADT means admission, discharge, transfers. And the second submodule is the IPD module. So why we have kept these two modules separate is under ADT module, the administrative processes related to the admission. So those things are handled in this module. So the administrative activities with reference to raising an advice and then accepting them, admissions, discharges, then transfers from one ward to another ward. So those decisions and activities will be covered under the ADT module. While patient is in admission stage, so the clinical processes, all those things, transactions that happen, those things will be handled under IPD submodule. So these two activities, administrative and clinical aspects, are bifurcated into these two modules. So we are going to cover these two modules today. Under ADT module, so we will see how an admission advice can come from the doctor in the OPD, and at the same time, the admission advice also can come directly from the admission desk, because sometimes the patients might have to come directly to the admission desk during the off OPD hours, or due to urgency, emergencies also, patients can directly come to the admission desk. So in all those cases, we have given a provision to handle those admission requests from the nursing desk in the ADT module. Once the admission advice has been created, then the admission has to be accepted. So that will be handled under the nursing desk in the IPD module. So there is also single window process where even the newborn baby admissions, so all those things also can be handled under this. Then the once the admitted patient has to be transferred to either different ward or different department, or to external hospitals, laboratories, service areas. So all those transfers can be handled in the transfer process. Then we have a cancellation process for the admission. If there is a mistake, or for some reasons, if admission, once it is accepted, if it has to be cancelled, then we have a process for it. Then after the discharge summary and everything has been generated, so final discharge process can be handled from the ADT module. However, the discharge summary, everything will be handled from the there is a separate discharge summary process, so that can be handled there. So this final discharge is for finally discharging the patient from the hospital. Then sometimes once the discharge has happened, there can be some complications due to which the patient has to be admitted again, or there can be some other reasons or other unknown scenarios where the discharge has to be cancelled. So we have a cancellation process also there. Then in some cases, the reprint option will be required for generating the admission card or discharge cards. So that process also is available in this. So these are all the activities, functionalities that are there in the ADT module. And we have various MIS reports available in the module, like admitted patient listing, category-wise admissions, the admission accepted cases, the cancelled or not reported list, daily discharge report. So all such reports are available. Apart from those standard reports, we also have the dashboard, which will show at a glance what is the bed occupancy position or vacancy position. Then the hospital-wise summaries that normally we generate, that will also contain the counts. So admission, discharge counts, that also can we have facilitated as a summary report. So these things will be covered in ADT, and we have a IPD module. The IPD module, broadly, it has two separate desks. One desk is for the nurses and another desk for the doctors. So normally speaking, some activities start with the nurses and the follow-up action will come under the doctor desk. And some actions will be initiated by the doctor and those things will be followed up by the nurses. So the interlinkages between these two desks are available in the IPD module. So in the nursing desk, nurse will be able to see the patient listing by various stages, the admitted patients, not admitted patients, so on transit. So all those listings will be there. Then if a patient case is selected, then nurse will be able to see the dashboard of the patient at a glance view. And the admission acceptance process will be handled from the nursing desk. Nurse can do the vital recording. Nurse also can raise the call book for the doctors, which doctors can see and accept, acknowledge those calls. Then IO charts, examination information, service procedure information, the investigation reports viewing. So all those options will be available for the nurse. Apart from that, nurse also will be able to collect the samples, generate the sample IDs, and then send those samples to the lab. The chart entry, chart views, the admission transfers, the printing options, all those things will be there in the nursing desk. And in the doctor desk, we have some options which are common to nursing desk, but some options are uh, independent of nursing desk. Like once a call has been raised by the nursing desk, so doctor can acknowledge them. The call logs can be seen for this. And consultation inbox is for making a cross consultation process enabled in the system. So a doctor, if he thinks that some specialist doctor or visiting consultants have to be involved in this process, then that cross consultation request can be raised and those can be seen from the inbox. The patient listing doctor can see, and patient dashboard also the doctors can see, and doctors will indicate the drugs, the treatment course that the patient has to be followed up during the admission stage. So that can be entered here. Apart besides that, drug allergy related information also can be entered here. The drugs which are prescribed by the doctor, they can be administered by the nurse in the nursing desk. Then the doctor can also raise the investigation request here, and that will be followed by the nurse for sample collection and rest of the process. Then doctor will be able to enter the details of the examination, history of illness, complaints, the family history also, diagnosis, uh, and the e-consultation that we already talked about, the cross consultation thing. Then doctor can also raise a OT request, and he can also initiate the process of discharge by raising a request here. So once the discharge request is initiated, then the discharge summary process can be done both by the nurse as well as doctor. So the draft discharge summary can be prepared by the nurse and it can be finally confirmed by the doctor. And when it is confirmed, after that, nurse can uh, do the final discharge. So that's how we complete this whole process here. So this is the overview of the processes that we are going to have the demonstration. We will go step by step now. Let us go to the demonstration. As I said, we will be using the ADT and IPD module interchangeably because some processes are interlinked there. So we will go with the normal sequence of the course of admission and all the processes. So it starts with the advice coming from the doctor in the OPD. So if a patient goes to the doctor in the OPD, and if doctor arrives to an opinion that this patient requires an admission, then he can initiate the admission process by raising an advice. So he can click on the admission advice, and then most of the information automatically it will come, and doctor simply has to select the ward in which this patient can be admitted, and he will also select the doctor's name who has advised for this thing, and then remarks can be indicated. And the if suppose a ward has been selected here, then doctor can see what is the status of the bed vacancy in that ward. So based on the bed availability status, he can choose the ward here. Suppose a ward he has chosen has no beds, then he can choose another ward. So why he has to choose a ward here is each ward has a nursing desk. So the request that he is putting here, that should reflect in the nursing desk. So each ward will have a different nursing desk. So this request will go specific to that ward, and this patient also will go to that particular ward nursing desk. So that's why this information is necessary at this stage. So after selecting the ward, this can be saved. And we get the confirmation that admission advice generated successfully. Now the rest of the prescription can be saved as per the requirement. And we will save the prescription here. So the admission advice related information is coming in the prescription. So this prescription will be for the information of the patient that he has got the admission advice, and based on that advice, he will directly go to that particular ward. So now he will go to the ward number 2.
Prescription save చేయకుండా వెళ్ళిపోతుందని advice save అవ్వదు సార్.
So it is necessary that when the admission advice is raised, so doctor should not stop there. He has to necessarily save the prescription.
Yeah, the EMR.
So after this process, now the request or advice of the doctor for the admission will get reflected in the ADT module, which the nurse can see. So nurse has to click on the single window admission desk. So here the new admission we can click, and we have to enter the patient identifier. So after entering the patient ID, now it will automatically show the admission advice that has been raised by the doctor. So here the doctor will, the nurse will simply accept the information here, and one or two information the nurse has to update here, because whenever the admission has to be confirmed, the patient will also have an attendant for whom we have to issue a attendance slip. So for that we will capture the partial ID number so that it can be identified for the attendant also. And after that we can also check the admission vacancy status of the beds, because by the time admission has been raised, so it may so happen that when the patient arrives there, patient might come maybe after some time or after 1 or 2 days. So in that case, that time the position will change. So nurse will again confirm whether the bed status permits for this or not. If something has to be changed, so in that case the nurse can click on the change button, and she can manually enter the details. She can also change the ward information, and rest of the information she can manually feed. So what we are seeing so far is the process that is coming from doctor to the nursing desk. What if the patient directly comes to the nursing desk during the off times of the OPD, or in case of emergency, or in case the hospital has not completely implemented HMIS, so OPD is not functional but IPD is functional. So in all those kind of scenarios, the patient can come with an offline advice to join in the admit in the wards. So in that case, directly nurse can initiate the admission advice here. So if you click on the admission single window admission desk and the new admission, so in that case, the entire form more or less same process. So we will have a same screen, just that the nurse has to fill the information on behalf of the doctor. So doctor might give an offline advice, or in case of emergency, nurse can take the advice of the doctor and she can enter the details here. So that's the only difference here. So we can also see the advice note given by the doctor in the chart icon that is coming there, the message icon. And after that, nurse can accept the case here. So by saving the details, the admission gets confirmed here. So now we will get the admission slip along with visitor slip, attendant slip, and the dummy bill slip. So all these three get generated as a single document here. So what happens here is based on the advice either from the doctor or an offline advice, nurse is accepting that patient to a ward. So here bed has not been allotted. It is only an admission confirmation to a particular ward. So now this request can go to a particular ward, and in that ward, the patient can be assigned a particular bed. So now let us go to that step. We will go to IPD process. In the IPD process, we have to click on the nursing desk because this process will be done by the nurse. So normally it will be having a default listing by admitted status. We have to choose the non-acceptance because that patient has not been accepted as yet. Only the confirmation has happened at the ward level. So now at the bed level, this confirmation has to be done in the ward. So this patient gets listed here, and we have to click on the patient name. So after that, now we don't see any other option but the acceptance option in the left. So in the blue color box, we have options. So if you click on the acceptance, then it will ask to assign the bed. So in that particular ward, whatever beds are already configured, they get listed and we have to choose a bed. And after that, if the bed is on a sharing basis, we can also indicate the sharing thing. So normally it does not happen. Maybe in a corona kind of pandemic times, so we have such kind of scenarios. So in that case, after indicating the bed, we can save the details. So now the patient gets allotted with the bed, and the admission is fully confirmed for that patient, and it gets reflected in the admitted status. So now we will get the confirmation. So this is a confirmation that patient has been accepted successfully. Now, if we go to the patient list, so it will be appearing in disappear from the non-acceptance, and it will show in the acceptance accepted status. So if you click on the patient case, now we have all the options available here. Apart from the acceptance, we have all the nursing desk related options available. So nurse can do all these things that are appearing as an options. Nurse can record the vitals. Nurse can also raise a doctor call book. Input output charts can be updated. Drug administration can be done here based on the advice given by the doctor. Then investigations can be viewed with the reports. The investigation status can be checked here. And we can also, nurse can also see, enter the charts, and those entered details can be seen in the chart view. And we can, we also have this investigation request can also be initiated by the nursing. And sample those requests either initiated by the nurse or from the doctor So the samples can be generated here. The sample collection can be done, and the patient movement from one ward to another ward or from one bed to another bed. So all those transfers also can be done here. Then the service procedures, progress notes, all those things, even permitting the patient to go home, all these actions can be done by the nurse. So let us go with the normal process. So first we will start with the doctor call book, how a call can be raised by the doctor, and then we will switch to the doctor desk, and we will come back to the nursing desk, how the actions can be followed up based on the inputs given by the doctor. So when we click on doctor call book, here we have to choose the unit and then consultant, and then we can assign a priority, whether it is a high priority call or a low priority, and then remarks, the reasons for which the call has been initiated can be entered. And after that, we can also indicate the mechanisms by which this message or call has been communicated, whether it is being communicated by a peon, whether it is communicated by phone, those things can be entered here. So after that, we can save the details. So with that, the request for a doctor to come and visit the ward for this particular patient gets generated successfully. So now we can see this call under the call logs. This call has been generated. It is appearing in red because we have kept a high priority for this call. And doctor will be able to see these calls requests in his inbox, and he can also acknowledge them. So let us switch to the doctor desk in the IPD, and then we complete the complete doctor process, and we will come back to the nursing desk to see how this interaction between two desks can happen. So we have come to the doctor desk, and in the doctor desk, initially we have options, the doctor call acknowledgement. So if you click on it, then it opens the call log, what all calls have been received for the doctor for different patients. So here the reasons along with the priority things will come here, and doctor can give the remarks of acknowledgement. He can say, doctor will come say after 1 hour or 12:30. So he can indicate the time, or he can also mention that he is not available. Some other consultant can be asked to attend this case. So any reasons can be indicated here. So it is an acknowledgement. So now it converts to acknowledged status. Earlier it was pending, showing as pending. So now it has been acknowledged. So by clicking on the case, we can also see the reasons why it has been called, what are the doctor remarks. So all these things can be seen here. After that, doctor will go to the patient listing, and in that patient list, he can click on the patient case, and he will be able to see the complete dashboard of the patient. Here, the admission summary, the patient related information, when he has been admitted, at what time. So patient name, department, so all these details will be there. And if some more details are already there for the patient, so it keeps on adding to diagnosis, investigations, drug treatments, allergy, all this information gets updated here, and doctor can see all of them in one glance. And left side and right side, you have different options for the doctor. So let us go one by one. We've talked about doctor call acknowledgement, and after that, the consultation inbox. If a doctor has raised a request for cross consultation, those things get reflected in the consultation inbox. And these also can be acknowledged by the doctor, and accordingly, the schedules can be planned, visits, rounds can be planned. And we have some options for the doctor to enter the complaints. So most of these templates are all configured based on the formats that we have received. So department wise, we have already mapped these templates, complaints related template. So whenever a patient comes for in relation to some departments, so automatically system will connect those different templates accordingly. So most of these templates are click-based kind of thing, so that data entry will be minimal and it can be easily handled. And we always recommended that for the IPD cases, it's better that each ward can have a tablet, so which can be carried to bed by the doctor during the rounds, and such data can be entered on the real-time basis. So here the complaints related information has been saved, and after saving it will appear in this manner. So all the details that have been saved by the doctor can be seen here. And similarly, we have a history tab here to record the family history in relation to the illness. So this information can be useful once these details are updated by one doctor. So other doctors also can see these details. So if a marriage is of consanguineous nature, whether any parents, this mental state, to cross check the mental status, the parents type can be seen here, whether they're single, separated. Then whether family size can be indicated, socio-economic aspect. So those things can be entered here. So after entering the details, we can save the details, and we can also check the details updated here. So all the details will appear here. And after that, examination related information also can be updated by the doctor from time to time. So these are also coming from the templates that we talked about. So the examination information can be filled by the doctor. And doctor can also indicate the information related to the chronic illness for that patient. So if any the chronic patient is suffering from any chronic illnesses, that information also can be entered here, which can be seen as part of the patient record, and accordingly the treatment course can be devised. And we have the diagnosis related tab also here. So the diagnosis that have been detected for the patient can be entered here, for which the ICD codes or SNOMED city codes can be used. And we can save any number of diagnoses here one by one. So all this information can be seen by nurses also from the nursing desk, and also by other doctors during the next rounds. And in the treatment detail, this is one of the most important aspect here. So here the treatment that has to be given, the course of treatment that should be followed for this patient during the admission. So that can be indicated by the doctor, and these details get reflected for the nurse to administer during the admission. So we can indicate the special instructions also here. So based on the frequency and dosage that are indicated by the doctor, automatically it will show up for the nurse to simply administer as per the schedules defined. So we have just added one drug here, and we will go ahead and when we come back to the nursing desk, then we will see how these things are shown there. And in the investigation order, so the doctor can indicate if any tests have to be done for the patient. So they normally come as per the availability of the test in the hospital. So the departments can be chosen, and within that department, whatever tests are there, so that can be selected here. So any number of tests can be indicated for the patient as per requirement. And then those requests will get reflected in the nursing desk, and they will follow up by collecting the samples and sending to the lab. And now if any investigations have been generated with the report, so that can be seen under view investigations. So today one request has been raised, and the status can be checked here. It is still in the requisition raised stage only. So a report has not been generated. If a report has been generated, then in that case we can see the complete report also doctor can see here. If the same report has been generated at different points of time, then that can also be compared. So a comparative analysis also will come here. And in the e-consultation, we've already talked, so the cross-consultation related aspects will come here. So a doctor can initiate the request for the either by the department unit or by the doctor. So a specific request can be raised for cross consultation, and they can enter the reasons or the remarks here. So those things will get reflected in the second option in the left, the consultation inbox. So that can be acknowledged by the doctor, and accordingly the consultations can be scheduled. Then we have a document upload option here. We will come back to this option. This is an important option. We will explain in the end. Then the course related course during the stay can be updated by the doctor. So there are different fields. The visit notes, progress notes, and instructions can be entered here by the doctor from time to time. So here, normally this thing will be noted at every visit. So when the rounds are done, it may not be possible to enter the details on a real-time basis. So in that case, we have given an option to change the date and time. They can enter the dates and time manually, and they can update the notes here. So initially they will focus on the treatment, the complete rounds they will make, and after that, at leisure, those details can be updated in this tab here. So those details which have been saved can be checked from here. And so here we will be able to see what all visit notes have been entered here. And then if something has to be modified, that also can be done here. And then we have some more options here. The discharge request. See, once the patient is deemed fit for discharge, then doctor will initiate this process of discharging from this advice. So he will advise for the discharge, and then these cases get reflected in the nursing desk in a green color font. So once they appear in the green color font, then the nurse will come to know that this patient is marked for the discharge. So nurse will do the prepare the discharge summary notes in draft, and then doctor will finalize them, and then the discharge will happen. So this is an important step where doctor can initiate the process. Without this initiation process, discharge cannot be done. And we have some more options like service procedure options can be seen here. And electronic medical record option also is available here. We talked about the e-consultation related calls. So if a cross consultation request has been raised by a doctor, so those can be seen here, and it can be acknowledged by the doctor also. And they can see for which reasons this call has been raised for cross consultation. So accordingly, doctor can schedule the visits. So now let us come back to the nursing desk before we talk about the uploading options, and then coming to the discharge aspect. So let us complete the complete course that happens following up with the observations made by the doctor. Then we will come back to the discharge aspect. So now when we come to the nursing desk, here the doctor call book related logs can be checked by the nurse also, and she will come to know whether the call has been acknowledged by the doctor or not. If a doctor has failed to acknowledge, probably she can call back the doctor, or she can raise another request to different doctor. So those things can be done from this window. And then vitals can be recorded by the nurse from time to time, and those details can be seen by the nurse to understand the patterns of the changes of the vitals. So those vitals which have been saved can be seen from the by clicking on the vital charts link there. and they can see here. So with the date and time stamps, it will appear all the parameters wherever we have added the details. So apart from that, the input output related charts also can be prepared by the nurse. So they can indicate the date and time when any input or output is done, and they can indicate the parameter of the input output and the root of the IO, and then volume and remarks. So all these details can be updated and they can save it. So IO chart automatically gets generated, and that can be seen by clicking on to IO chart. So here they will be able to see on which date and time what has been given in and out, and the notes also can be seen here. Then coming to the drug administration, if you remember, the doctor has advised a drug for the patient here, and that drug has a dosage and frequency. Based on the frequency that has been decided by the doctor from date and to date, so automatically it will convert into a scheduler. So nurse will simply has to check the schedules, and they can select the particular schedule and indicate the time of administration. Administering of the drugs can be indicated here, and then they can also indicate the other relevant options here. Suppose the drug which has been administered is available in the store of that particular ward. So in that case, automatically it will fetch the details of the near expiring batch number and expiry dates and those things. So stock position also gets reduced on that basis. If the nurse desk has no store maintained and it does not have the stock position, or if the drugs are maintained in offline basis, so in that case, the nurse has to indicate manually the details about the batch number and expiry date, and remarks also can be entered here. So after that, they can save the option here. After that, that particular drug portion schedule will get completed, and the drug administered related status also can be checked here. So on 29th October at 2 o'clock, this particular drug has been given with so and so details. So all these things can be checked by the nurse from that desk. So now the investigation related information. Before we come to the investigation, let us see the chart related information. Chart entry and chart view also can be done here. So nurse can enter the details from time to time, and they can save, and then they can also view the chart at different points of time. If we click on the, so we have saved the record twice, and if we go to the chart view, it will show basically the different timelines in which the chart has been recorded here. So these are all the details that have been filled here. And then coming to the investigation related thing. So as I told you, sometimes there can be an emergency and doctor may not be available. So if a nurse asks that whether the patient requires any further testing at this stage, so doctor can say that, okay, I will be coming in say 1 hour or 2 hours. Meanwhile, these tests may be conducted. So on behalf of the doctor, nurse can initiate the request for investigations, and they can select the department and test. And they can follow it up with the sample collection. So the next option is the sample collection. So for this patient, whatever you can see, the two tests are like appearing here. One test is advised by the doctor from the doctor desk, and another request has been raised by the nurse on behalf of the doctor. So these tests can be saved here to collect the samples, and sample number can be sample ID can be generated here. So here two sample barcodes have been generated because the two tests will require two different samples. If both the test has only one single sample, so in that case only one barcode gets generated. So after that, samples can be collected, and on the sample vials, these barcodes can be pasted, and then they will generate the packing list from the investigation, and with that grouped list of all the patients combined together, they can generate the list and then send it to the laboratory for further process. So after sending these samples to the lab, the rest of the process will be completed by the lab users, and then nurse will be able to see the investigation reports directly from the view investigations option. And here they will be able to see the status of the samples. Like earlier we had seen, only request has been raised. So now the samples have been collected, that status got updated here. And once the reports are completed, generated for this test, then nurse will be able to directly see the reports here, and nurses do not have to wait for the physical reports to come from lab to the wards. So this will be a very convenience factor for the nurses, that they don't have to go and follow up with the lab for these reports. So they can directly check it from the desk. And apart from that, we have some more options here. The most important option is the patient movement transfer. So the patient movement or transfer can happen on three different dimensions. One aspect can be like changing from one ward to another ward, or one department to another ward. And then there can be a movement from one room or bed to another room or bed. And there can also be transfers for different purposes, like for some administering a procedure in the service area, or for investigations in the laboratory, or even for some investigations in the external laboratories. So in all those cases, these transfers can be effected. We will just follow with one process here. We will try to select a different ward here, different department and different ward, and we will try to change the ward for this patient. So we have selected a ward, a different ward, and then we have initiated the process for transfer to another ward. So right now it only appears in the on the transit mode. So now you can see it will go back to the original process, where the nursing desk in that particular ward has to accept the patients. So it will show as a non-accepted case, and once we click on it, then it will again ask for the acceptance, because here again the bed has to be allotted in a different ward. So the now ward and unit has been changed, but however the bed has to be allotted here again. So after bed allocated and saved, the details get updated here, and the patient gets admitted with a bed allotment in a different ward. So now the nurse of that particular ward will be able to see in the patient list of that ward. Just a moment.
Close.
So now the patient has been accepted successfully in another ward, where this patient has been transferred. So if we go back to the patient list, it will appear in the accepted list of that particular ward. So now you can see the status from which ward to which ward has been changed here. And after selecting the patient case, now again the nurse will be able to see the complete history of that patient. It's not like it will start afresh, and no physical records have to move from that ward to another one. So all the record is intact, and nurse will straight away see the entire history of this medical history of this patient, and accordingly the treatment can continue. So now we have talked about the transfers, and after that the service procedures, progress notes. So all these details also can be updated by the nurse here. Then there is another option available. The progress notes can be added here. So these progress notes also can be seen. Whatever notes have been already added, they all get added in the history, and those can be cross-checked at subsequent times. And now the last option that is appearing here is the permit to go home. So there can be some occasions where patients can be permitted to go home. So here nurse can initiate this process and can indicate when this particular leave is sanctioned, on what date, and what will be the address during the leave, what is the condition, patient condition at the time of leave, and any advice has been given, what is the reason for the leave, and who has sanctioned this leave for that patient, and what will be the contact number during the home stay. So all that information can be updated here. Okay. So once a patient has been, say, for a couple of days or 3 days leave has been granted, and he will homestay and then come back again. So in that case, we have to click on the join record here. So if a patient has been given leave and then come back, so he can be joined again to that particular ward and bed. So these are all the options that are available. So now we can go back to the doctor desk, and we will see two aspects that we have not covered. So now in even doctor desk also the details get updated, and they will be able to see. Now you will see earlier the dashboard was empty. So now it gets filled with the investigation information, drug details information, and then diagnosis related information. So all those details get populated here, and doctor can have a one single page view for the glance. And now there are two aspects that we have not covered now. So let us see the document upload option available here. So why we have said document upload is an important option, because the implementation of IPD module in HMIS can take over a period of time, and abruptly maybe some of the patients have been already admitted. So in that case, those records have to be scanned and uploaded. So here those records, all the entire case sheet can be scanned and uploaded here. And apart from that, there can be some records which are external to the HMIS or the railway hospitals. So those documents also can be scanned and uploaded here. So there can be documents like MLC papers, or it can be external diagnostics. So if you see the drop-down option, it has all these informations. There can be external prescriptions, patient documents, external investigation reports, MLC documents, and all those things can be selected, and you can also choose the document name, and you can upload the document here. The upload option is available for only images and the PDF. So images supporting image formats are JPG and JPEG, and the resolution that can be supported is this. And in PDF, the maximum size of the file can be 2 MB. So I think 2 MB is a very sufficiently reasonable this thing. So any number of documents can be uploaded here. So single document cannot be more than 2 MB. So this option can be used for all these purposes. And then now let us come to the last option, which is a discharge process. So in the discharge process, doctor can initiate this process by raising an advice that this patient is fit to get discharged. So once the doctor clicks on the discharge request, then here the discharge type can be entered here, whether it is a normal discharge or whether the patient own request discharge or whether it is a LAMA. So all those things can be selected here. If a patient is absconded, then also we can say it has to be discharged. Or in case of transfer to say another railway hospital, or if it is like sent to a referral hospital, that also can be entered here. So all those required options have been given here. And the next visit related information also can be entered here, and then discharge remarks can be added here. So once this admission discharge advice has been initiated by the doctor, then this case gets reflected in the patient list in a green color to the nurse. So in the nursing desk, if you go there, so now you can see this particular case is shown in a green color font with italics. So it means now nurse will understand that this patient is required to be discharged. So all the preparatory work required for this patient for preparing the discharge summary can be initiated by the nurse here. So now let us see how the discharge summary can be generated in the ADT module as well as in IPD module. So in IPD module, normally doctors or the nurses both will have an option accessible here. So if you click on it, then the patient related information identification has to be established here. So this is the discharge related notes given by the doctor. So doctor can also indicate the date on which the discharge summary has to be prepared and all that. So after that, we have an icon in the action column. So if you click on it, we can prepare the discharge summary. So as I said, discharge summary can be prepared as a draft by the nurse, and then it can be confirmed by the doctor. So before the discharge summary notes have been prepared, so we can configure for that particular patient which all aspects can be included in the discharge summary. So this comes under the section configuration. If you click on that icon, the settings icon, so you will be able to see all the aspects of the medical case sheets. So they will all come with the default selection. So if you think that some of the aspects can be ignored in the discharge summary, because all the details normally are not included in the discharge summary, so you can untick them and you can include very lean information for the discharge summary, because this is a case sheet. So all the information will be available in the EMR, but patient will not have access. But what you will include in the discharge summary, that will be available for the patient to see and download. So we can also change the sequence of this discharge summary. So we can bring some aspects to the top, some aspects to the bottom. So accordingly, we can keep the only required fields in the discharge summary. So once we have saved the configuration, then the discharge summary template will get organized according to the settings done. So here, whatever information has been already added as part of the treatment, so they all will come automatically here. And if the details have to be added extra, so those details can be added. So there can be multiple scenarios. Sometimes the it can so happen that the patient records have been maintained in offline manner, so nothing has been updated online. So in that case, the whole record has to be updated wherever the required information has to be given in the system. So that has to be manually fed by the nurses. Otherwise, whatever details have been already entered in online, so those details will come. We can simply choose which aspects can be included in the summary, which can be deleted also, can be decided here. So as you can see, we had included the history related information that is coming there, and then we have included some examination related information here. So we can include that. If something needs to be modified, that also can be done. Diagnosis information also we have added here. So that is also coming, appearing here. The condition at the time of discharge also can be added. So these are all the specific information that has to be added here. So the drug related information is also coming here. Suppose some things have to be deleted, not to be included. So those things can be deleted here. Suppose some of the drug administration was like a very routine kind of thing, which does not require to be mentioned. So we can also delete the entries that have been added here. And then the operation related information, if it is available, it will come. Otherwise, we can add information in an offline basis. Then the advice on the discharge. So normally on the discharge, the drugs are prescribed for the patients. So those details can be updated here. And these drugs can be dispensed to the patient also at the time of discharge. So currently what we suggest is that before the discharge is committed, so the discharge summary, when it is prepared, before a patient has been finally discharged, it's better that those drugs can be issued from the pharmacy or from the ward, and they can be given to the patient, and then only the discharge, the final discharge should be done. Because this episode gets closed, so we have noticed some of the issues that after effecting the discharge, then dispensing drugs has a slight issue. So that can be taken care at least initially. So those issues we are going to modify. So now if a patient is requiring a referral after discharge, so that information also can be entered here, whether within the hospital or other railway hospital or to referral hospital. So all those details can be entered here. So any investigations requiring for this patient after discharge, so those details also can be entered here. Suppose a urine examination is required after 2 days of discharge, so that also can be entered here. And the discharge types, automatically it will come as per the advice given by the doctor, and it can also be modified here. Then the follow-up, when he comes back, which department the patient has to consult, on what date. So all those information can be entered here. So now a draft discharge summary is getting generated. It can be saved by the nurse. So here we have a save icon, so we can save them. So all this information is still in a draft mode. So it can be updated any number of times before it is finally prepared and generated for the patient. So before discharge is effected, so all this information can be updated. So we expect that nurse will initiate it, and then doctor will see and can confirm that this information is all fine or something needs to be removed or added. And after that, doctor also will have the same process here. And after that, they can click on the prepare button here. So once the prepare option is exercised, then it will come in a printable form, and this can be printed. So now the discharge summary can be said that it is in a final stage, a finalized stage. So it can be concluded. And now the nurse from the nursing desk, the final discharge can be effected here. So you can see in the patient case here, we have all the options to either modify or to print or to prepare. So all those options will be available here. Now we will come back to the ADT module. As a nurse, normally this is an administrative activity which nurses can handle from their stage. Because finally discharge summary has been prepared and doctor has completed all the clinical procedure for this. Now only discharge has to be effected. So for that, the nurse will click on this patient final discharge, and the CR number can be entered here. Here we will select some of the information at the time of discharge. So what is the patient condition at the time of discharge? The diagnosis related information can be entered here, and the discharge notes can be entered. And after that, we can save this one. So once this thing is saved, a discharge note gets generated here. So discharge slip, the discharge card is generated here. So it will contain all the necessary information required at the time of discharge. So this can be printed and it can be signed if required, if a paper trail has to be maintained. So that completes the whole process of patient, the admission advice coming from the doctor, then the admission accepted by the nurse in the nursing desk in the single window, and then the bed allocation are done by the nurse in the nursing desk of the ward. And after that, we have seen all the different roles handled by the doctor and nurse. And after that, the finally discharge summaries can be done. So here the EMR desk also can be seen how the status of the patient gets updated, be it coming from the OPD or IPD. So here for this patient, you can check all the details here. Some of the dashboard information, last transactions automatically are shown. The last encounters has been in the admission. So the admission, discharge summaries, all those things can be seen here. Then the last visits also can be checked, investigations, diagnosis information, encoders. So everything gets updated here. So all the modules and all the processes are interlinked here in such a manner that the information gets consolidated in EMR. So it will be one single window for the doctors to have a holistic view about the medical history of the patient. There are some things I think we have missed out. So we will just try to show it again. The baby, newborn baby admission, how it can be done. We will just show you. So when we go to the single window admission desk, even in the ADT, we have a separate option called newborn, new baby admission. So if you click on it, then here, instead of entering the baby's CR number, because baby is newly born, baby does not have a name, baby does not have a CR number. So in that case, with the mother's CR number, we can choose and then we can indicate whether the baby is single or twins or any numbers as per the situation, as per the case, we can indicate there. If it is like more than one, and if it is twin, then two cases get generated here. Two new CR numbers get generated for the babies here. So we can indicate, we can fill the necessary information here. Most of the information come from the Umeed, so it does not require updation. And then we can only indicate the ward allocation required for the baby here. So we can indicate the same mother's bed, and we can keep it on a sharing basis. So it does not require another bed to be allotted here, just for the sake of it. So after that, we can save, and baby's registration also gets done. So normally in NICU, this can be a very routine activity. So there is, and this is a newborn baby's admission card. So the name, the baby does not have a name, so it will come as a baby of the mother's name. So mother's name we had indicated as a test female here as a test case for demonstration. So the mother's name will come, and rest of the information will be as per the inputs given there. So as you can see, baby has got a new CR number. So we can have a completely different case sheet generated here, and we can have a drug administration separately for the baby, and we can also issue the drugs. We can raise the investigation separately for the baby. So rest of the things all can be done for baby independent of mother. So it will also show in the list of the cases for the baby. So that's all about the newborn baby related process. Now let us show you the new versions that we are working on. Whatever we have shown is the current version, which is already functioning. We are working on a new version of Dr. Desk for the IPD. So which will be somewhat similar to what we are already seeing in the OPD Dr. Desk. So the IPD Dr. Desk that we had shown now has a lot of information coming in a discrete manner. So all that information we wanted to show it in a single page view with a easy navigation and completion. So for that reason, we are working on the new version. It is not still operational. It is still in testing stage. But for the information of the users, we want to just give a demonstration of it. So when we go to the IPD Dr. Desk Lite new version, so it will have a similar view like a OPD Dr. Desk. Here we have to choose the department unit, and then we have to choose the ward. And with the combination of these two, it will show the list of all the cases here. And you can check the all the admitted patients list. So total we are having around 23 cases with the combination of unit and ward that we have selected. And so even the newborn baby also is shown here with the new with the icon here, a separate icon. And then we are showing a different information here. So the status also shown as an admitted status for normal admitted patients. And if a discharge summary has been prepared for a patient, then the status converts to discharge prepared. So which means that nurse will know that this for this discharge summary has been prepared, so they can be discharged. So we can also have the summary on the top. It will show the 2 discharge prepared out of 23 admitted cases. Summary also is coming here. And we can sort the cases as per the status, as per name, CR number, date, admission date. So all those options will be available here. Even by ward also we can sort them. And now we have a RX option here. So if you click on the RX option, it will open the template for the IPD related data entry. So similar to the OPD desk, it will show in a single page view to update the details here. So if you want to see the past prescriptions of the patient, both in the OPD as well as IPD, so they can toggle between these two options and they can check the records separately. With different date and time episodes, it can be checked. And similarly, EMR also can be checked here directly, and it will also have a different alternate options between OPD and IPD. And vitals can be recorded here. So from time to time by the doctor. Complaints can be recorded. It is same. Diagnosis is also same like OPD desk. Then procedures, drugs. So everything is like same here. And operation related information can be filled here. Then the hospital course. Here, most of the routine matters that have to be entered, they can be entered here. So we can choose the date and time, and we can enter the course related information here. So the observation notes during the rounds and the instructions for the treatment. So all those details can be entered here. And if you click on the past details here, show past, we will be able to see if any different details have been filled at different points of time. So all that historical information can be seen for the patient. Here the service administration related details also can be checked directly from here. Lab reports also can be seen directly from here. So it will give you an analyzer tab here, and you can see here. So for CBP, it has been done on 2 different dates. So accordingly, you will see a comparative assessment of these parameters here. And if you click on the trends, it will also show the graphical interface of this. You can see for 2 different dates, it is having a linear graph. If we is more than two different dates, probably we'll have a different pattern of this. So this will be very handy for the doctors to have an easy understanding of the patterns of various parameters. So it is still under testing mode. So in future, you can expect this new version also to come. And meanwhile, you can continue to work on the current version. So if there are any observations, we will keep reserve this thing for discussion. So doctor will also be able to see the patient image, and they can also check the complete patient list and patient summary. The patient summary will contain the complete information here. So that is all for today's session in terms of the demonstration. At 4:30 we will meet again. We will have an interactive session, and you can give us suggestions, and you can also ask for any clarifications. We will be able to clear the doubts. So thank you so much. We will close the session here. At 4:30 we will meet again for interactive session. Thank you.